Okay, so this is what I want to talk about today is the topic of civil disobedience. And so Australia is a few years ahead of America. And if we don't break through our loyalties, I would call it our preferred honor, who are we more loyal to? And breaking down from a theological standpoint, and then really an emotional standpoint too, of like, where are the men that have courage to lead in this hour? Because if we don't break through this, and I love pushing back on COVID. People don't like it that much. This podcast was actually birthed in COVID because I looked around and I'm like, where are all the spiritual leaders? And I saw a bunch of leaders saying ridiculous stuff. I saw pastors getting up and being like, we care so much about your health, like their medical professions. I was like, no, like healthy people go to hell. We care about your soul.
Amen.
We care about that you know Jesus. And so like I was blown away at the poor leadership. It made no sense to me that strip clubs and Walmarts can be open, but churches couldn't be open. This is spiritual, and people need to pay attention to this. If it doesn't make sense in the natural, it is spiritual.
Amen.
And so if we don't relook at how we lived in COVID and how you responded to the spirit of fear and the conditioning of the Antichrist. I do not believe the vax was the Antichrist, but I do believe it was the conditioning. It makes no sense. I mean, no sense for thousands of people to message us about our school and say, we want your kids to die if you're not vaccinated, because I thought you want the vaccination so they live. So if it doesn't make sense, it's spiritual. I was literally in this office. I was like, Lord, why do so many psychos care so much about vaccinations? And I genuinely don't care. We have people in our church that are vaccinated and unvaccinated. I don't care. I'm not. Okay, I'm not doing experimental things. But I was praying about this. I was like, why do they care so much? And literally the Lord prompts my heart. This is the Antichrist spirit. I'm not saying it's the mark of the beast. I'm saying it is the conditioning of it. It is the prepare. Why is there so much pressure for people to get it? Why were families shunned? Why were you kicked out of weddings and not allowed at Thanksgiving? And the psychoticness of that event, it was a conditioning. And if people don't look back and say, how did I live? How did I lead? Who did I obey? If you don't go back and reevaluate it, then you will respond back bad in the next testing. And
it was a spiritual IQ test. COVID was a spiritual IQ test. And I'm not judging pastors who failed, but what I am saying, you do need to have a soul check and a spiritual check and a discernment check. Is that next time the evil and the demonic comes knocking to shut down the church, that you will actually be the first person to say, no, we will worship Jesus till the end of days. I was very shocked personally.
I want to be clear with this, because there's somebody that's going to watch that you're habitually offended. You may be a super troll, and so you're offended even before you watch the entire podcast. And you'll say, are you saying that I can't get a vaccine? Are you saying I don't have faith? Are you saying, no, we didn't say any of those things. I'm saying this. If you believe the same thing as woke preachers, wicked politicians, and godless celebrities, there's a chance that you may be on the wrong side. And that is what you need to evaluate. If you prayerfully looked at it and did research and you're like, yeah, I want this rush to manufactured vaccine and I think this is the best thing, I feel like the Lord leading me into it, then that's the one thing, okay? And no one's throwing any shade on you. But if you did it out of fear, then that is what you have to really evaluate.